We are back with another episode, Two for the Culture.
Yes.
It's nice to be back. My name is Justin Devante.
I'm Stephen Ray.
How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good. How was your week?
It's been good. Just same thing. Still training in a new job.
Yeah.
Getting geared up for that. I think my last week is the last week for training. And I'll be kind of out on the floor and working deals. So I'm excited. So it's just like, in finance, it's, I thought I would just be like approving, accepting deals. Then like, that's it.
Yeah.
But of course, my naive self was completely wrong. There's like a whole terminology you need to know. There's a lot of different verbiage that they're using. There's just little things that, you have no idea what you're going and definitely automotive finance that I thought I knew. Mm-hmm. And it has been coming like slightly overwhelming, but there's like you still be 6 months in and you finally figure out like, hey, I kind of got this.
Yeah. I can see it. It's like with any job for real.
Right. But but I feel like, competitive I am in nature. That I want to just get up and go in and be like the best in the beginning. Yeah. But it reminds me kind of like an insurance. Like even when I was a couple years in, there was always like a sector of insurance that I've never even touched. And there's like, okay, there's a whole nother world out here that I'm not even focused on. So that's just kind of the vibe it's given. But hey, it pays well. So So it's like, all right, they kind of paid me to do this, and it is, the ceiling in without the company is as much as I want to make it. So I can't complain.
Absolutely.
Truly. It's just that, I'm just really trying to, just with driving and the new job, it's just coming. It's a lot, but I'm trying to manage it all, and it's going to come together. How's your week?
My week was good. I did a lot of research and going into like e-commerce as well as the editing, of course, and then a lot of rabbit holes that I just dived into. I really need to stop because now it's getting kind of crazy. For example, like the like all the planes and stuff.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
Like, do you ever be wondering like why they're promoting it so much when the plane crashes are actually less than last year?
Why they're doing it? I
think it's actually less than like every year before then.
I felt like they was promoting it heavily, but is it because of the Trump administration?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, I didn't. I thought you had the answer.
I don't have the answer for it, but it does seem like they are trying to stop us from flying, or like they're trying like some fear mongering thing to stop us from flying. I don't know. It feels kind of weird, or like how you said last time about like Kendrick and Drake and how Kendrick's career right now that like is orchestrated a little bit. I feel like this is kind of orchestrated. Like
I get that vibe. I didn't know the statistics that it was down from last year, but I mean, flying. The only reason why I feel like it's slightly hard to believe is because flying is such a huge, not only industry, it's a part of the economy. Where it's absolutely essential. So why would they really want to disrupt that?
Which is why I went down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
So it feels like something bigger is about to happen. Like kind of like how COVID was. Mm-hmm. If you like think about it, it was like step 1, 2, and 3 with COVID. Mm-hmm. At first it was like, oh, this is a little virus. Oh, if you travel, you gonna catch that shit. Oh, and then people stop traveling less. And then, oh, y'all need to stay inside from this time to this time. You remember that shit was weird. Mm-hmm. It was like a movie. You couldn't go outside after like 9:00. And then after that, people started to go crazy, and it was in the middle of the summer. Then they killed a black man on TV.
Killed the black man on TV.
George. Shout out to him. I'm fucking this up.
okay. What you mean they killed him on TV though? What they did?
Yeah, I mean, no, he wasn't like on TV. But
you talking about George Floyd?
Yeah. They promoted the shit out of that.
I thought you talking about with COVID. I was like,
oh no.
Yeah,
they killed a lot of people. But yeah, like, did you like see that? It was just the lineup of everything. That everybody's inside. The job market now is like, it was. I believe it was crashing a little bit, and the economy was crashing, and everybody's kind of going crazy. It's the middle of the summer, and everybody's stuck in this box for like 4, 5, 6 months, and then that happens to him, and then it was just like uproar, and it was protests. Everybody was outside, like on their own, looting, doing all this type of shit. I feel like that was a test. Like a test run in a way. And it's starting to feel like it's starting to feel a little similar. So I just like caught wind of it and I started going down the rabbit hole and I'm like, damn, this don't really make sense. Like, why is this being overly promoted? As soon as like a plane got some smoke on it, that shit hitting CNN. Like, and then I just don't know what's next. And then, I seen a lot of like TED Talks and a lot of things that happened before COVID, and how before COVID it was like Barack Obama was like, yeah, there's going to be a pandemic, and what's his name, Bill Gates, there's going to be a pandemic, and then it was one, and then now I've heard a lot of there's going to be a second one, and I hear a lot of the grid is going to go down, like kind of like way too much. So I just thought about that and I was just like, bro, this is making way too much sense. And I never thought about like the grid of the United States like going down.
Well, we all operate off of different grids.
Right. But I mean, I'm not saying like one of them
in particular. All of them will shut down at one time? Maybe
not at one time, but I'm saying like it feels like there's a foreshadowing of most of the grid, or maybe all of them, maybe not at one time, but they will be hacked or something to go down. Because even Trump was like, we need a bigger energy source because, we don't want to rely on the grid because, it's on, but it may go out. And they be saying little shit like that. And they said that shit about COVID and stuff before. So I'm like, damn, like what if this bitch goes down? And they said that there is a 90% casualty rate if that were to happen.
That sounds impossible.
How?
90% casualty rate if the grid shuts down?
Absolutely.
How?
Think about it. All right, boom.
So
all the lights cut off.
Okay, yeah.
Boom. All the lights cut off. Your cell phone doesn't work anymore. You can't get in contact with family unless, of course, you live with them or they're like super duper close.
Okay.
All right. The gas pumps and all that will go out eventually. So you're not going to be able to go anywhere. Nobody's going to have a car. You're not going to be able to travel. The water system will be shut down. This is the major thing. The water system will be shut down. You would not have enough, depending on if you stocked up, like you live and die by this shit. Like the world's going to end one day. Unless your house is built like that. Humans cannot last more than like 3 to 5 days or some shit like without water.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, people gonna start dying. People definitely gonna start killing themselves. Absolutely.
Okay.
And on top of that, with the water system being down, it's gonna take maybe about a week or so, and all the water is gonna be contaminated. So people gonna start dying off of diseases and shit like that. You won't be able to drink the water. So only a good like certain percentage of the entire US is going to be like built for this shit to where they got water filters in their house and they go out to a river or some shit and like actually filtrate that shit and have their house stocked up for over a certain amount of months. Most people are going to die within like the first few months of this thing.
I don't think 90% of the people are going to die.
I'm not saying in the first month. I'm saying like if this is prolonged, like 6 months.
Why can't they get the grid back up in that time?
I don't know. I'm just saying in general, like if that were to happen, because I was thinking that COVID was going to be over with in month like 2, and that shit went to how long?
I didn't feel like that at all.
What, bro? We was in the house for like at least 6.
No, I didn't feel like COVID was going to be over in a couple months though.
Oh well, I did,
because COVID is still around. We still can get COVID. People get COVID.
No, what I meant by that is more so like the impact to where like y'all got to stay in the house. Like the government was not letting people outside of the house. There was like military and shit. When I was in LA, there was like military on the streets and shit like that.
Oh yeah, that was y'all.
Oh well, hell.
That sounds wild though. There was military on the streets.
Yes,
that makes y'all go in.
Yeah, you couldn't go outside.
Oh wow.
No, that shit was like a different country.
That's scary.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. No, I've seen that shit.
They didn't even talk about that like that. But I didn't know there was military stopping y'all from going in and out the house.
Yeah, but shit was like Transformers.
Oh, wow.
Like you walk outside and see these big brown trucks. Like, swear to God.
Wow.
Yeah, and we had a curfew. Like, do not come outside. So, I just saw that and I thought that within a few weeks to maybe a month, that it would stop, but we was in the house forever. Like it was like 6 months, and people, yeah, bro. So it was like, that's what I meant by one thing after another. It almost seemed like it was just orchestrated beyond everything else. And the way I'm looking at this, and I'm hearing this stuff, is just something ain't adding up. So yeah, just something to think about, bro. Something to think about.
No, I just haven't been in tune like that lately. Because, I've even looking at Instagram, downloading that joint today.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I see why I haven't been on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, it's just easy to get trapped in it. Like, just Absolutely. Going through the reels, going through the pictures. I was like, oh my goodness, this is like highly entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. It's way too perfect, like, to the algorithm of whatever you want to see. So as soon as I watch something and it says the grid's going to go down, and then I scroll up, the grid. Oh. Like, these plane crashes aren't making sense. It's yeah. And yeah, but I know that's happening. So I do need to put my phone down. But in comparison to the COVID coronavirus thing and the presidents and the people and Bill Gates and like all these random people would say certain things and the population control, and they would always be like, yeah, and then after we reduce population, like, and nobody just heard what the fuck this man just said, and that's still happening.
So the only thing that I remember, the reducing the population thing was big in the early 2000s. Like, hey, we're maxing out the planet, but now population has been going down. I mean, excuse me, I'm saying it wrong. The population is increasing, but we need a certain amount of people to keep on producing in order to maintain society anyway. Because if population goes down, then who's going to work?
Robots.
Okay, so
where Elon Musk come in. It's all
okay. So you're just going to have a bunch of elites to themselves. Who do they leech off of? Who do they make money from? It's impossible. You have to have a certain amount of slave population to capitalize on.
I'm not that deep where I'm like, it's because of this and this.
Yeah.
I was just saying that, it's kind of alarming when you think about it. So I just been hearing a lot about it, about the population control.
Yeah. So even if we speak about Bill Gates, Elon Musk, all them, they have to, they're making money off of a consumer base. So they want more people to buy their product. So less people is not advantageous to them at all. So to maintain a proper society, for every person, you need 1.2 people to grow from. So you don't, having a declining population is the worst situation imaginable. And definitely if you're a federal government, that's extreming terrible, because now you have an older population that you can't tax. They can't work for you. So you need a growing base that you can actually tax and make money from.
What if, and this is just me playing devil's advocate, what if like these people are so beyond rich, which they are,
absolutely,
that it's beyond that point to where like they could just make a new US if they wanted to.
So a part of your psyche, you know, there's heaven and hell, there's God, there's Satan. So there's a part of me that feels like there's a flexing aspect to it. If you have nobody to flex to, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But I mean, you make your own. That is the hugest flex ever.
What? So I mean,
you would have more control with less people.
So control, and so I'm just trying to figure out what would the true strategy be. You're saying control a certain amount of population so you can limit.
You can make whatever you want. Is what I'm saying.
And you have to give me like a scenario to where I can visualize exactly what you're saying.
Like if I'm a good leader, let's not even say a good leader. Let's say I am a leader, good or bad. Mm-hmm. And there are 100 people in this room. Mm-hmm. And I lead them to do whatever. I got the most money in this bitch. Y'all gonna listen to me. Mm-hmm. And I want to create a certain world, whatever, certain working environment. Mm-hmm. If there are 10 people in this room, that is a way easier chance that this is going to go my way. Okay. That's all I was saying.
I understand the concept of it, but Elon Musk has 13 baby mothers. Yeah. Yeah. There is a certain, I guess I don't know exactly how I'm trying to frame it, but there's a part of like, it's not enough, like having a small population is not enough. And we're talking about Elon Musk as if he can just stick the army on somebody if, they get out of hand. So I don't know. I'm just saying how the stats, how there is, it needs to be 1.2 people for the federal government or for the economy to actually grow and work. So Elon Musk it'll be easier for him to control 10 people, but to control them to do what? He's a capitalist, so you can control a lot of people with what they do now, and that's with money. You can pay somebody enough to do your job. To hoard money for what exactly? So you just have money just to have money and do nothing with it? Because money. So if you're going to build a rocket ship, who's going to build that rocket ship? You got to pay people. So you got to spend money to get what you want anyway. And you're paying people to do that. So if you just have a bunch of money and you're the only person on earth, that does nothing for you. That now is just literally paper. Yeah. So you can have a boat, a huge boat would be nice. But if you're a limited population, it doesn't get as fun because now you're amongst people and they're going to eventually die off. Who's going to replace them? So you're just going to have a bunch of incest people.
So that's my thing, which is why I don't understand that. Like, we have been threatened so many times. From what I read, it's like 700 attempts to knock like some parts of the grid off. Okay. But I don't get what the purpose of that would be for. Like, just to fuck us up. Like, I heard from China or from Russia or whoever our enemies are, that instead of dropping a bomb on us, it'd be way easier to like shoot an EMP and then like we're just knocked off this shit. Yeah. And we're fucked. That's where I'm coming from. So I guess not necessarily like they're going to take over the world, but I don't know what it would be for. But I do hear that a lot when I look it up, that like it's way easier instead of dropping, like Japan will how that happened. It'd be way easier to just like,
Yeah. I can see it'll be way easier, but this grid system, like our grid, it's controlled by TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority, and they are like a subsidiary of the U.S. government. So our grid will probably be a lot harder to knock off than, let's say, Texas, to where they're like a free market grid. You know, yeah. So they make hand over fist, and I don't know how that stuff actually works, but maybe. But I mean, so who says that China has a tougher grid to crack? You know what I mean? Like,
I thought that too.
Yeah. So I mean,
why don't we fuck up somebody's grid?
Yeah. Then everybody knows what boundary they play in. Mm-hmm. So and then not only that, you know, the U.S. is the biggest importer of goods from China. Mm-hmm. So we are high trade partners with each other, and we're a globalist society. So we all need each other to a certain degree. So there's a certain amount of boundaries that any country wants to play in anyway.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'm sure that is a possibility, but are you going to really hurt yourself? And then you got to get a counterattack that can equally hurt a bigger population in China? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, maybe, possibly, but that's not, the grid is not where, like, I hear that thing, but I hear stuff like that. Not really. But I mean, if that's a super concern for you, then get solar in your home. You know what I mean? There's actually a creek back there that floods. So we have more water here. Yeah, literally like last week. You was probably asleep, but when I got home, shoot, that joint was flooded all the way back to the pavement. Yeah, it was so much water. No. Yeah, so if it rains, people, just let you know, you can collect rainwater. So so rainwater is drinkable. So so I mean, this planet is made by God. I wouldn't be feared about super shit. If your water start working, shit outside. You know, that's I get that. We'll figure it out. Yeah. So so we can be. Hey, I've been talking about getting chickens for a while. So maybe I need to act a little bit quicker. Yeah. But we can look up how much chicken costs. They're not that expensive. They lay eggs. You can sustain yourself. Eggs have protein.
Right.
Yeah, you can sustain yourself off of some eggs. Hey, it is what it is.
Whole ecosystem.
How do you think life worked before that? We can start planting some things. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we can figure it out. If I can be proactive in that, but that's not a super concern of mine. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, they have like powders that have that's like nutrient dense. Like what's the brand? It's something green. But nonetheless, it's like a powder that you can put in water that gives you the nutrients for the day. Yeah. I mean, eat eggs. Yeah, you'll be skinny as shit. But
we're talking about a major thing though. You acting like the grid shut down ain't gonna be all that. Yes, it will. It
ain't gonna kill 90% of the population is what I'm saying.
I don't know about
90% is absolutely that's literally an atomic,
Yeah, it's I Am Legend. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So I'm just saying if something like that were possible and not for like a week, I'm talking about like we're fucked. Like if they do that and bomb us and some shit, I'm like, damn, first of all, that'll be the wildest thing ever. But I was just wondering, like, is something like that possible? Do like people even think about stuff like that? So instead of like, I mean, because first of all, when COVID happened, I never thought I would see anything like that. Like the world shut down. That was great. They were shooting people in different countries if they were outside past 9, like to make sure that everybody was staying inside. Yeah. So
that's called an overreaction.
Absolutely.
yeah, that's
absolutely. It's chaos, and I see way more chaos that way. But yeah, that was just.
No, that's very interesting. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, that was like crazy. So I'm gonna stop scrolling.
But I don't want to make it seem like ain't nothing possible, and of course it's gonna affect our lives because we make money. Yeah, we have jobs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the grid shutting down. I work from home. That would be very devastating. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it'll be devastating to everybody around me too. So, then how will people finance cars? People, there'll be a bunch of business being destroyed, and it will absolutely destroy our economy. Okay. And yeah, there will be a reason to panic, and I would definitely be one of them. But to sit here and act like it's the end of the world, maybe. But I mean, we can live without things. Like, I think that, like, back in the 1600s, 1500s was so much better to live in. I totally agree.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Didn't they die way sooner?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. It depends on where you're at. Yeah. So, but at the same time, look up Black men and their death rate. It's not high. It's significantly, like, what we look at is the average men, Americans. Was it not totality? Just the death rate, fatality rate, and then it may say 70 something. But then you look at a black man, it's probably 20-30% lower than that. We probably live around what they lived in. But what I was getting at is that it's like we get taxed to death. That goes to the government for what? To live in a house. We live in indentured servitude. We're constantly in debt for all our lives. And back in the day, we could have just built a house, live within our community. We knew the earth better. We planted, we hunted. The earth was plentiful, and the things that we worry about now is just not that important. It's just truly not. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, hey, I'm sure motherfuckers wasn't committing suicide at the rate they are now. Depression was very low, if at all. Yeah. We just had a bigger sense of community. There was more love, and we cared about a lot less. I don't see how I would know that. I just like I guess what I go off of is when I'll be listening to documentaries about Africa and how, even though they're in I'm going to use it, but lack of a better term, huts. It's there's love, there's smiles, they're happy, and
dancing, yeah,
all those things. And then you be like, but do you have not much food? You find food. You find the love in everything that what's brought to you. And I remember it was a Joe Rogan podcast. I forgot the guy who was on there, but he was with the African tribe. And then it's like, what do you know about America? Isn't that the country where they jump off of tall buildings and kill themselves? Was
he not in America on the show?
No, that's what he was asking the people. So he was asking the African people, what do they know about America?
Oh, the guy on the show was asking his people.
The African tribe. He wasn't African. He
was
Asian. Yeah. And then it was like, yeah. Aren't they the people who jump off of tall buildings? Like, they couldn't fathom kill themselves. Like, what draws you in your mind to where you want to end your own life? Like, how bad is it mentally up here that you say you're willing to kill yourself?
Yeah,
that they can fathom that. But for here, depression is a real thing. Suicide is a real thing. Yeah. We got to talk each other down from a bridge at times. Yeah. Like, bro, you're going mad. What is this country doing?
No, right.
Yeah. What's happening here? It sounds.
You don't think that people are like that everywhere?
I'm sure. I'm not saying this is just an American thing.
But you think?
But I'm just saying.
Circumstances.
But I mean, we hear it all the time.
The way we live our lives can create more depression than in other places.
Exactly.
What do you think those things are?
We're not. That's a good question. I think that we worry more. That's a part of it. We worry more. There is keeping up with the Joneses. There is a scared to fail mentality. There is what you think you should be for men. How you should supposed to be as a man. Yeah, yeah. And if you're not doing these things, you're not living right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a so you're self-policing in your mind, and you're overthinking things. Mm-hmm. Lack of guidance, lack of religion,
lack of guidance. Where would
lack of spirituality, lack of tune with the earth. I'm just saying lack of guidance.
Tune with the earth is a big, huge fact.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just saying in terms of mentorship, in terms of guidance, we don't know fatherhood. Parents are constantly working. Even if you have a parent in the house, a lot of them are working to where they're truly not around to give you guidance. They're just there to provide.
I can understand that. Just like in other countries, I don't know if it's Spain, but where they have like their days are literally directed, their weekends are directed toward family, like spending time with your family. Mm-hmm. And ours isn't like that. It's just like you off work, just do whatever you want to do type thing. And I think it's an extra day and an extra hour, something like that. Or instead of 8 hours, like 6 hours in a day to make sure that you home to have dinner with your family and stuff like that. So I can see that. I do believe the phone, terrible. A lot of things that are second nature for us are not good for our mental health. I don't believe at all. I always feel like we were way smarter back then. Like, I don't know about the 1500s, but I mean like long ass time ago. Like
I just named something. I truly have no idea what's going on in 1500s. I just want to say back in the day. Yeah. I have no idea what was in the 1500s.
But I do believe that. I do believe that we were way smarter. It probably looked like they were behind. We probably look more advanced. Or like we got a phone and we got like a TV and we got this drone that you can go up and down and shit like that.
We can react to the world a lot quicker.
Call somebody and the other side of the world. Yeah. There are things that's like that I feel that we can look at ourselves and be like, man, we're so advanced and da-da-da. But like, I feel like it looked simpler, but they were smarter. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, we're holding this phone. Radiation is getting all in us. Mm-hmm. Use a microwave. That shit is all in you. The cell towers and all this stuff. But like back then, I don't think it's a coincidence that they was wearing. I wasn't back. I don't know if this is true or not. Right. But just going off of movies and shit.
I got you. Yeah.
They wore like a lot of gold or a lot of maybe copper. Just like. That stops a certain amount of like radio waves, and like that's what I mean by like simpler, but like way more in tune with the earth. So like electric fields and shit like that, they probably knew how to harness electricity way better. We still don't know how they really used the pyramids. Why is the pyramids directly at this certain point on the earth that I need to look it up again, but like it's at a certain point in the earth that is aligned with something. And it's just like, how is that possible? Like, I feel like they were way smarter than us, or at least the majority. I feel like there are elite people they know how the world works and shit like that.
Yeah. I think people have the information that we seek. They're just hiding it.
Yeah. We're easier to control. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah. The less you know, the more easier to control. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah. But to even smarter, it's like, bruh, do you know how to go skin an animal? Even as simple as that.
Survival skills.
Build your own house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You really don't know.
Exactly. You don't.
Too much.
You have no. We don't know much at all.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even tell you how my phone worked. I couldn't like reverse engineer it. Yeah. I just use these products, so I don't know much at all, really, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that eating kale is good for you, but I don't know how to grow it. Yeah. So, that's where I was like, man, all this stuff. when I hear the lack of grid, yeah, there's a lot of people gonna be dying. But I think sometimes when we hit rock bottom, is when we actually. That's when you see the human in us, the human nature in us, where we come together and challenge if we want to. Otherwise, you can go to panic and kill each other or whatever. But I think there's a certain aspect that I love of overcoming. Yeah, because some people just don't really hit rock bottom for real, so they always just stuck with the bare minimum. And that's what that's the part that about welfare is like they give you the bare minimum just to survive. Yeah. So you never feel like the need to get up out of that because you're somewhat fine to where you're at. That was actually interesting, bro.
Yeah, bro. It really, I really be on the rabbit hole shit, like for real. What else we got on the board?
And then you know, but one thing we do know how to, a lot of us know how to, we're gonna be really procreating in if the grid go out, we ain't gonna do. We gonna at least know how to have sex out here.
Shit, I feel like that might be a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, what else we gonna do?
No, I'm just saying. Then what? We really going back in time, like. I gotta be here next to my girl. She's having a baby, and I don't got a book or nothing.
Yeah, you better squat.
do we got some scissors? Where the scissors at?
Yeah. That's just. I was trying to transition to Steve Smith.
Oh,
I was trying. Yeah, it didn't really go that way. No, it didn't go that well. I wasn't hitting the points I need to.
I didn't hit it. All right.
Apparently, Steve Smith was.
So there's this guy named Steve Smith.
He's a Hall of Famer, a great football player. Played for the Panthers for a long time. Went to the Baltimore Ravens and is a legit one of them.
Oh, wide receivers. One of them ones.
Yeah. Aggressive wide receiver. It's very skilled. He's a legend in the game.
Okay. And was he working for somebody like in the past?
He worked for he had his own podcast, I believe. But he may work for like the NFL network, maybe. I'll be guessing. But he was like an analyst for real. He got fired?
I think so. Because this is pretty crazy. So all right. So I'm checking Instagram, and the caption basically says, "Oop, NFL sports analyst." I guess I could have just read that, but I appreciate the intro. NFL sports analyst Steve Smith Sr. accused of sleeping with a married woman. Her husband posts alleged text exchange and a phone conversation with Steve. And here is the phone conversation that he had with him.
Okay.
Shit. Hold on. Let me.
Hey, yo, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you been fucking my wife, bro. What you gotta say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You fucking knew she was married. You're not a fucking idiot, man. You're fucking Steve Smith Sr. What kind of dumb shit was that? Why are you quiet, man? Be a fucking man. Steve. You ain't a fucking man, bro. All that shit you do on fucking TV, all that shit talking you do to other people. Now someone's got you on the fucking phone, you can't even fucking man up.
Boop, boop, boop. All right. So that happened. But then let's go deeper. Did you see the text messages?
I read a little bit.
I I'm not gonna read them all because they're very okay.
First of all, why he take the worst selfie in the world?
Why he do that?
Yeah, turn you over and get deep inside of you. You're so hot. Deep is an understatement. Okay, so this is her saying it. You're so hot.
This is the wife, and he posts the husband posts all of this.
Yeah, of course. Deep is an understatement. It felt like you were going to rearrange my IUD. You were so deep. LOL. And then, while you look stunning, about to go work out, I'm getting a little chuck. And then he's sending another selfie. This is still, take me deep down your throat like you kind of like. You wanted to suck me off. And then she said, I did. I would have gagged on it, but I had to come home. You enjoy it. You like to feel it.
This sounds like a Zane audiobook.
Me too. Letting you taste it, though, would be a turn on. I would have shot my nut all inside your pussy. I love making you come. I enjoy it more than when you come inside me. Ooh, I would be very hot if I'm just, yeah. I agree. That's why I came back. The connection was something I couldn't just walk away from. The passion is hard to forget. I wasn't alone with it. Maybe I should just tell who's saying what. Now I was right there with you. Stadium full of people, and I only saw you again. And then that's what he said. You had me wanting to explode Friday, but holding you was quite all right with me. And then she said, that spark lit fireworks. You were a gentleman, and that was a part of the reason I came back. Wanted to give you a proper goodbye. Okay. This is,
it's crazy.
Yeah, they're just keeping on going with that.
So what if you were the husband? First of all, what do you think of this whole thing?
So I don't know if Steve Smith is married or not, but I hope not. Mm-hmm. Two is he knew she was married, but that ain't gonna stop much people these days.
Right.
So Steve Smith is clearly in the wrong. There's no doubt about it, but that's not why I'm gonna call Steve Smith. Like, I'm not gonna call him.
I'm not gonna call him.
Yeah. And then for him to even have answered is just even more weird. Like, it's like, yo, I hear, yo, I am probably gonna hang up.
On God, as soon as I hear, hey, because it had to be from either her number.
Yeah, he called from her phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he said, I'm sorry. Why'd you find that funny?
Because it was like, to me, it just seemed kind of like future-ish, like player-ish.
Oh.
Like, I'm sorry.
That's not what I got from that. I was sorry, like, oh shit, I'm caught.
Yeah, okay. Well, he got a lot of stuff going on too, so maybe like he probably felt like by the time that he hung up that he was being recorded. I just didn't understand why the husband would not. First of all, calling him is already I don't think I would have done that.
He's going to expose him. Clearly, that is why he's calling him.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, let's say, okay, why would you post those messages?
Because you want to expose him. He's clearly not thinking. Yeah, he's not thinking rationally. But he clearly wants to expose them for what they did, because he's extremely hurt. He obviously loved his wife.
His wife was saying, you rearranged my IUD on a message. Okay. Why would you I'm not even fully like, I don't know. It's like sometimes I be feeling like I'm not going to agree with most men. I'm not going to hang out with most men. I don't have the same brain as most men.
Right.
So there are a lot of ain't shit men out there.
Right.
That will try your woman.
Of course.
Period.
Yes.
It's on your woman, to deal with that.
Right.
So I don't know. Just a part of me just feels like, first of all, there's going to be niggas like this anyway in the world. So I'm really looking at my wife for real.
Of course.
So if I'm doing that, why would I even throw all of that out there? I'm throwing her out there, and I'm throwing out there that I have a very, very unfaithful wife.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah, it's a fairly easy explanation. One, Steve Smith is one of them to where he was aggressive on the field. Like he was not somebody you played with. Yeah. So So and if he's like that on the field, that dude will not be able to beat Steve Smith's ass.
Yeah.
So if the only way you hurt the husband, he's hurting you back. And that's the only way he can do to expose you. And if he lost his job, that's a way of punishment. So I hurt you, you hurt me, I hurt you back. So
you're saying that, okay, that he might have lost the battle of being embarrassed by his wife, but he won the war of messing up his life.
He lost his wife, clearly.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, so he could still get another wife and all this, but like I just made you lose your career.
Absolutely. It's not about, hey, my ego's too big for me to expose what my wife is doing, and it shows how lackluster I am as being a husband. That is not like what he's thinking at all. He's thinking more so, Steve, I can't believe Steve, what else can I do? I can expose him, put him all over the internet, and he gets shamed for what he's done. Nobody's clapping for Steve Smith for this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in his eyes, he won. Of course, he's going to get a lot of internet shame back, just how the internet goes.
Yeah.
But he's not thinking ration-minded. He should have just... His wife did this. Whether they choose to work it out is one thing, or she cheated. He has every right to move on. But I can never say what a man... I'm not gonna fault him for this because he's not thinking clearly. And I mean, you reading these text messages, I would be fuming inside.
Yeah.
If I truly love my wife.
Yeah.
And this is what she's doing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And showing how happy she is with him and is messaging him all these things. She's sucking this man's dick.
Yeah,
like, and it said I gagged. You rearranged my IUD. You're hot. And y'all message is not only physical, it's emotional as well. Like he says, all these people in the stadium, all I see is you. Yeah, you going. Yeah, so that's a lot for any man to deal with. So for him to have this Einstein IQ to see above it is very tough for any man.
Yeah, I just thought more so. I wasn't thinking like he won anything, to be honest. And I was just thinking more so like, all right, you're showing everybody how unfaithful your wife is, and you look like, for lack of a better term,
a loser.
Yeah, like a simp.
Yeah. But he's his world, in his eyes, his world is destroyed. It's going to take a lot for him to come. I mean, we've been through breakup.
Yeah,
breakup hurts already.
Right.
Yeah. So in the moment, his world is destroyed. You know what Yamcha is on Dragon Ball Z?
What's
so Yamcha is a character on Dragon Ball Z to where he looks like this miniature clown, but what he does is he'll latch onto you and he'll blow up with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's his move. Yeah. So he's just
we both
going down. Grab you, boom. You know what I mean? It's Ali Akbar. So so that's just kind of for real, like he's taking them down with him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's really all it is. And I can never say what I would do because that's never happened like that. Yeah. But of course, I mean, have you ever seen text messages you don't want to see? It hurts.
Not that bad.
I have. Yeah, I have, and it hurts.
No, I found out information for sure that really killed me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but to see all that is another different thing.
No, and that's a whole.
Yeah, I've never been married before. I don't even know if they have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know if their relationship was rocky or there's things that he could have did better. Of course, I don't have that full context, but I have enough to know that he clearly felt away. Yeah, and you don't do all that for somebody you don't love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if it's a wife, for sure.
Yeah. So, but she's getting a lot more than what he's getting. But people. There's actually sentences for people who kill people over love of passion. Yeah, there's a different sentencing than people kill out of passion.
Really?
I believe so.
What?
Yeah. I believe so. Like, I mean, the jury's going to have. Because the jury is going to feel, in the sentencing, the judge is going to probably take a lot more lenience than you actually just shoot a man for something completely different. You was not thinking clearly. She was in the wrong, and you caught her in that moment, or vice versa. The sentencing is going to hit a little bit different.
Really? I mean, what would be the? Let's see.
Well, yeah, but so I mean, I'm not going to say I totally get it, but that's things that. People die over that. That's the thing I don't play around with. Because as an Uber driver, there's plenty of married women that I could have, and I don't feel ever comfortable in that.
That just sucks. Yeah. Like that really.
Yeah.
That really hurts my heart.
Because it was this one lady, and she was like, "Do you have sex with married women?" And I was like, "Nah." But she was like, "But what if I'm unhappy?" Nah, that's not gonna work.
But what if I'm happy?
But what if everything's great? Oh, well, that changes a lot. Yeah. Now my criteria is completely different. No, but so that's just something you never want to play around with. That no coochie is ever worth your life. And there's just more out there. So I always say go different. Are you able to pull up what ChatGPT is saying?
I'm looking. I don't see a timeline. It just says.
What do you mean timeline? What question did you ask?
Probably not the right question.
I'm just curious. Just what question did you ask?
I said, what is the difference between sentencing over passion?
Yeah.
I was trying to talk. I mean, I was trying to listen to you. And
yeah. I'm just really talking while you're looking it up. Yeah, because I didn't want dead air. So you really don't have to pay me any attention.
Well, either way, they're just saying that there is a difference. I just don't know that.
Yeah. It's all good, but there's a difference out there. Mm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I could not even imagine. Oh, and that leads me to the other thing that I was going to ask you.
What's up?
So somebody asked me the other day. They were like, or not asked me, but was like, it was a girl, and she basically told me, if I were to, what she say? She basically said like, how would you react if I pranked you? And then I was like, I don't know, just, make it funny or whatever. And then, cause I'm just thinking about like, punked and, like when you go on TikTok or Instagram, it's a bunch of like couples, they be like pranking each other, or painting their face in the dark.
Or like throw a water balloon at each other or whatever.
Right. But she said, pranked you by setting you up with another girl and seeing what you would do.
So testing you.
Okay. And, I just wanted to ask you, like, how would you feel about that? Like, if your girl
was to test me?
Yeah. So, like, I mean, like, her and her girls or whoever is in the back, they got headphones on and they're recording you. Yeah. It sets you up. And the girl, the attractive, they do the whole nine and they set you up. How would you feel after that?
After that, I wouldn't. That wouldn't necessarily surprise me because I'm waiting for the day. Yeah. I'm waiting for that moment, I guess. And I think that it maybe comes with the territory. That is a situation to where people who have trauma, people are scared to love. They want to know if they can trust you. It's very hard to open, with women that have been in life and have been cheated on. That's just something they're going to be concerned about. So for me, I would like to think that you know I love you and I wouldn't do something like that, but sometimes you don't know until you know.
So you would be okay.
I would understand. I wouldn't do it because I don't. That's just a lot of time. I don't got that much time in the day to set something like that up.
Yeah.
Or and a part of me would like. I feel good about my relationship and where I'm at with it, but like before, a part of me would feel like I'd be scared for her to fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one, I wouldn't because I don't feel the need to. And it's like I have such a long leash to where if you're cheating now, like, yeah, I would just wonder, like, okay, where's your head at? You're really more despicable to me. It's like, because I'm a very open book and we can talk about anything. So if you feel attracted to somebody, then that's a conversation that I'm open to having. And just going from there. It may not ever feel good, but at least I'm a truly an open book when it comes to those things.
Yeah.
So for you to do it now, I don't want to use the B word, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like, all right, you're truly not somebody that I should even love like that. But yeah, so how would you feel?
I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it, and like, I guess like, and of course when I said that, the girl that I'm talking about, like, she was like, "Oh, so you're a cheater?" And I'm like, no, it's just more so.
Just because you say you didn't like it, she just assumed you was a cheater, or what did you say?
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of understand the aspect of like, if you ask someone like that, if you ask somebody a question like that, then you would expect them more so to say, I mean, cool, fine, do it. Because I know me. I won't get caught up in anything and da-da-da-da-da. I guess that's what she expected me to say. But I was just like, I wouldn't like you to set me up. Like, I wouldn't, I don't like that. I'm not sure if it is because maybe in the back of my head, like you said, like for me to do that, maybe that's how I'm looking at it. Mostly, that it's coming from, if I were to do that to you, that means automatically I don't really trust you, because why am I even doing this in the first place? That's how I'm thinking. And it just feels like, why would you set me up? Like, why would you even put me in a position? Because that would be uncomfortable for me to be tested, or like, let me see what this nigga do, or whatever. It's just something about that energy that I'm just not really vibing with. So even if I told her, like, even if I pass with flying colors, even after it, I'm just gonna be like, why would you do that? Why would you put me into a situation like that? Not like, if this was so-and-so, this would have went totally different. Like, not saying that, but it's just something about it that just doesn't really sit well with me. I didn't know if every guy was like that. So that's why I asked.
I don't know. I mean, I've never really truly thought about me doing it to somebody else. Yeah. So maybe that's kind of like, because now that you're saying it, it's like not even just if you pass. It's not truly a pass or fail. How do you react? Yeah. Like, what are you giving? You know what I mean? Because I mean, yeah. So you can maybe get a 75 and out of 100, and the 75 is not good enough. Like, you should have, like, for my girl, she's like, damn, you just want me to mush these hoes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, I was like, I'll be respectful. Yeah. And say, hey, I got a girlfriend, or no, I'm not interested, and may not say that at all. Or if she, or whatever. Like, maybe I may be nice to give my Instagram account, and maybe that may be constitute a felon. But yeah, there's a difference between me going in the back room, you know what I mean, or kissing her, or all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, I also don't want to completely, like destroy somebody's ego. But but I'll be polite and like, I do have a girlfriend. I don't want you, or however I go about it, because that seemed, So I knew where my head is, and I got eyes. I know who's fine or not. Right. It's like, hey, I know in my head is like, bruh, I like to be loyal, and more above loyalty, I like peace. Yeah, so I don't even want to even go that route because I know it's like I don't even want to play around because she too fine. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like even like, hey, we can be friends. Like, nah, yeah, I won't even do that because like I'd rather not see you again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, because I don't even want to ever try to even play that route. You know?
Yeah. No, I'm not a good person for that. Like,
what?
Just making mistakes like that.
Yeah.
Just any mistake that I've ever made that was like disrespectful to a relationship. It felt like I couldn't even handle myself, in terms of usually, if you do something crazy, or let's say that somebody fails the test or whatever, or they get a 65 instead of just straight fail. Well, it is failing, but maybe they said no, but like kind of gave the eye a little bit, or like, maybe I'll follow you later, or like something like that. I just feel like I mentally, if I'm like really into my girl and seeing her hurt by like something that I did, that would fuck me up. So usually in those type of situations, I'm just kind of like, what you said about the peace thing, I agree with that. I'd much rather not even deal with me being sad.
And has that always been you? Like to where like I would have passed every single test that's ever thrown my way, depending on or this like, hey, this is new Steve, this is 2022 and into present.
I've never been a cheater. I've disrespected my relationship by drunk calling somebody once. But that's like
not for real.
Over, I mean, to her credit, it is something.
Yeah.
It was something. But like, I never really cheated for real. Yeah, nah. I don't want to say that like, well, I did some stuff, but I cheated. But, nah, I never really was like that. I never was like that.
I got you.
I'm trying to like think, was I ever? Nah, but usually I'll find out who I'm dealing with. I'm just like, oh, I didn't know you would move like that. Like, which kind of like fucks my head up with women a lot. So I at this point in my life, I feel like I unfortunately don't 100% trust. Yeah, I guess I don't. I don't think I 100% trust women. I feel like if I have your location, your this, and this, it still does not matter. Like I've been with women and I'll see a text message. It was really like one of my first girlfriends. Like I'll see a text message from a number and then the next day it'll be the same number, but now there's still only one message in the message thread. Not me checking her phone, but her texting right in front of me. And then I was just like, there should be way more messages than that. And like, I know you deleted messages. So it's like, it was that stuff. And then seeing how certain other relationships that I had, how it'll, girls usually like break up with you before they break up with you. Like they'll break up with you in their head before they actually break up with you.
Okay.
So like, they could be slightly moving different ways and you don't know until like later, which happens to me as well. So I don't know. It's like, I trust women, but I don't know. Hopefully like, that changes. That really, I really do need to change that. But
and I feel that the breaking up with you before they actually truly break up with you. That's why I'm like, man, I'm such a, I try to be, and I'm definitely always continue to work on myself, but be open because like, hey, let's talk about things. Like, why can't you truly, like, if you want to move on and you feel like there's better out there, then all right, let's prep for that. Don't hit me with the okie doke and think I'm thinking of one thing and it's completely separate. If that's what you're striving towards, let's talk about that and let's ease out of this. You know what I mean? And that's more where I'm living on, because I'm where I'm at in life to where I was like, all right, I know how men are. I know what I bring to the table. and I know I'm above average in when it comes to relationships. Like I know how crappy we can be sometimes. Yeah, and I've seen it too many times. So I was like, I know I truly care about the person I'm with.
Yeah.
I know I tried to bring my best and provide and want to see you happy. And I know I go over and beyond. And I put you first more than I put myself first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have different priorities. Like I have my grandmother I take care of, and there's life that brings and all that crap. So I have different priorities. So I can't just put you number one, but I put you above me.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of women will be grateful for me. You know what I mean? So I was like, I feel confident. I was like, all right, bet. Date other people. See how it is. Yeah. See if you can find a better me, because it ain't gonna be easy. Now I'm not saying there's plenty of people that are better than me. Don't get that wrong. Yeah. But it ain't gonna be like a dirty penny we just find. Like yeah. No, you gonna have to find a 4-leaf clover for real. Yeah. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Like, all right, try, because I know. Something tells me that you're probably gonna be back. Yeah. And that's how, and I feel confident in that. And then you better not hope that somebody else realizes what you don't. So that's why I feel always good about it. Yeah. And we had that conversation before. Like, all right, bet. Yeah. One conversation she was like, I need a second opinion. Yeah. I don't believe what you say right now. I don't think you believe it. Yeah. So if you want to test me, I feel like I would pass. But of course, I am a man, and I am flawed. And there's things that there's nobody that's that has tested the boundaries, and I failed. To my eyes, yeah. I've never been on a drive and that I was like, oh shit, I'm about to go in. Yeah, single me would have went in for sure. Yeah, but relationship me is like, nah, this ain't worth it. It's not even just peace outside; it's peace in my mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I treasure that morning. I like to feel guilt free. Yeah, and it's something that I can put like an imagery on it. It's like when you remember 6ix9ine got out of jail. And then he was going at everybody, like the Chicago rappers and stuff like that, be on their IG live with them. He was constantly looking out the window.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he had all the money that he possibly needed, but he was scared constantly. People who sell drugs, millionaire Pablo Escobar, all of them, they're always paranoid about what's out there. They got to stay. Exactly. What's the point of all that when your mind ain't right? Your mind ain't free.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah, so I just like a free mind. Yeah, so
that's why it's hard for me to even do stuff like that. And at the same time, I feel like I was conditioned this way, because usually anytime I make mistakes, it blows up in my face. Like, it may not be that day, but that day is coming, and it's like it's every time. So yeah, it's every time. So I never even try to even deal with that random thought, like the angel and the devil, and then you're like, no, I shouldn't be doing it. Ain't nobody gonna find out about this, right?
Well, for sure.
Yeah, and they do, and it always is a thing. So
like a stupid thing I said, and I had to later come back and apology for. Us, like I told my girlfriend, I was like, there's no. Like, what I was trying to say, I don't know exactly how it came out, but it came out wrong. And what I was trying to say, it is still gonna come off wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's no point of you worry about me cheating, because if I cheated, you aren't gonna find out. So I was like, so in my head is like, why care when you ain't never gonna find out anyway? Yeah. That was like the mentality. I was like, bro, don't worry about it, because even if I want to, I'm gonna get away with that shit. Yeah. So it just reminded me, you saying that, I had to come back and apologize, because she's like, that actually worries me.
Absolutely.
Because now I'm worried about if you're doing it. And I was like, that was not my intention at all, and I truly apologize. I thought me being loyal and you would see the actions that I was doing, but now I just created more paranoia in your head, and that wasn't my true intention. My actually was to do the opposite.
If a girl told me that, I'm never forgetting it.
Yeah. I was like, why even care? Because like even for me, like she has my location, I don't have hers. I intentionally don't have hers because I don't like to think about all that stuff. It's like I'm creating more issues in my head, which I have when I had a location. I was like, bro, I don't want that shit no more. Yeah, so that's kind of where I was like, just be conscious free. Stop worrying about little things. Because if she was cheating, how would I really know?
You won't.
Exactly.
You're not going to know.
Exactly. So that's what I was kind of trying to say, but it's still going to come off very terribly. So I just I had to apologize. That's not what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
I did the exact opposite of what I wanted, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. That makes if somebody told me that shit would be like, that would be a huge it would just keep replaying in my head. I'm finna go on this trip with my girls. Like it'll just keep going. Let's see what else we got out here. Small town fan audio. How do you feel if you're praying degree? Yeah, I didn't really have anything else.
Yeah, I think we're good. We're good on time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I feel good.
We got it.
All right. Well, this is Two for the Culture. We'll be back with another episode next week. That's a guarantee. No, that's a side note. All right. We'll see y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back.
All right. We'll be back.